Sure, why not? We're live, and we're doing a dark episode because it is Halloween season.
Ooh.
No, not really. Our stuff.
Our living room lights went out.
Not our fault.
Hey, soon it won't matter. By the beginning of next month, we'll have a brand new recording location to be determined that will be way better lit than this.
It's so lit.
It'll be so lit.
It's so lit. Oh my god! Actual studio probably.
Thanks for
tuning
stuff
in.
in.
The background.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody who's tuning in instead of watching either Empire on Fox or Riverdale on the CW. So thank you for tuning in.
Or whatever competition is currently going on NBC.
Yeah, we have a lot of competition on Wednesday nights, apparently. That's what I learned today. But thank you, regardless, if you're watching us.
Yes, thank you. And we're here every 8 o'clock on Wednesdays if you would like to
join the fun. Join the party,
yes,
as they say.
Yes, talk with us. Chat with us. We go live for you for me.
Oh, wait, no.
That's for
you.
That's what I meant for you. We go live every Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We watch the chat. We chat with the chat. This chat is chatty chat.
We chat with the chat. If the chat chats, we chat back.
We chatty chat.
That's how it works.
Turn this down. The chat goes live. And we start. Wow, it's super dark.
Wow. Completely whiffed.
I know, this is super dark though. Can we turn your brightness up? Maybe get a glow?
No. I don't do that.
What do you mean you don't do that?
I don't glow. Oh, that actually kind of works.
That's what I mean by glow.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me, like the person.
Get a brightness going.
I thought you were asking me to glow, and I was like, I'm doing.
Well, I know you're not a female wrestler, but.
And I'm also not pregnant, so I don't have any glow going on here.
But what we do have going on here is a podcast.
We have the Media Boat Podcast. Hello, all and everyone out there. It's the Media Boat Podcast. It's Wednesday. It's October 10th. It's the episode 100.
It's October 10th.
45?
45.
I think we're finally to 45 today.
We're finally hit 145.
Yes, it is an exciting October edition of the Media Boat Podcast. If you don't know what the Media Boat Podcast is...
What is the Media Boat Podcast? Because I don't know.
Well, thank you for asking. The Media Boat Podcast is your source for news about movies, music, television, and video games, not necessarily in that order.
Bullshit, it is in that order.
No, actually, no, I mixed music and television there.
Okay, like I said, somewhere in that order.
It's not necessarily in that order, but they are all covered. So if you are watching live, we're live on YouTube, just like we are on every Wednesday night. If you're listening to the podcast, also, thank you for listening.
Yes, thank you, friends of the podcast.
Friends of the podcast unite. Let's jump right into it. We always start the Media Boat Podcast with movies. And
we start with introductions.
And we always... Oh, sorry. I'm Matt. He's Mike.
I'm Mike. He's Matt. Now, we go right into the first topic of every episode.
We always start with movies, and we always start movies with the weekend box office numbers.
All right. I'm going to assume Venom actually did something.
Yes! You called this. I was incorrect.
Well, I didn't want this to be true because but
we kind of had the two major releases last week. Venom and A Star Is Born kind of facing each other off. I thought it was going to be Star Is Born. I thought it had more marketing, even though Venom has been, I feel like, in the zeitgeist a little longer.
Yes, but then you realize comic book movie.
But yeah, comic book movie. People were interested in Venom to the tune of $80 million. And that is your number one movie this week. 80 million debut for Venom.
80 million.
Is this a success for Sony? Can they finally say this is a win?
Technically, yes, because it's going to easily cross that 100 mark.
Yes.
However, it's still a 150 movie, so it's going to take international box office for it to cash in.
I think it'll make it.
Yes, but this does bode well for the extended universe that Sony is doing. By that, I mean, this isn't in the news. This is just what I've been reading.
Yeah,
that
me too.
Venom is the first step in a series of movies that will congregate together in the Sony Marvel universe.
They want their own MCU,
But Spider-Verse.
but with the properties that they have access to.
Yes. So with the success of Venom, they are quickly moving forward with their next film, which would be based off Kraven the Hunter.
I don't even know what that is.
That is a man. Well, that's a man's man.
Is he a hunter?
Yes, he hunts
Is
animals.
Is
And
it Wes Craven?
no, it's
Does he direct horror movies?
no. He's just
Right.
think Nick Offerman, if he got super jacked
I'm following.
and decided to hunt down Spider-Man.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
Only if it was actually Nick Offerman.
I know this is actually Nick Offerman.
This is not going to be Nick Offerman, I can guarantee.
Probably not.
Not a project he'd be interested in.
I mean, he'd have to get superhero bulked, and I don't think he's in
Yeah.
the stage of doing that.
He'd have to do a lot of tables and chairs. He would work a lot of wood.
Yes,
You know,
but
or get
think
that
that just like a man's man who's just gonna like take no for an answer and attack anything and everything.
Wait, he's going to take no for an answer, or he doesn't?
He doesn't.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Anyways. So yeah, Venom is your number one movie with an $80 million debut, so we'll see what happens with the rest of the Sony-verse.
Mm-hmm.
Your number two movie, though, is A Star is Born. It made a $42 million debut.
That's impressive for first-time director
Bradley
Cooper.
It seems like we're going to talk about that a little later, so
Yes.
I'll just leave it there. Your number three movie is Smallfoot with another $14 million after its last week debut. Night School at number 4 with $12 million.
That dropped from number 1.
And The House with a Clock in its Walls rounds out your top 5 at number 5 with another $7 million. So there you go. It's something. That's your top 5 upcoming this weekend in the box office. Your debuts: Bad Times at the El Royale.
This looks good. I know nothing about it, but
Yeah, the
trailers make it look interesting, and briefly what I've been seeing online is go into it blind. And so that's what I'm going to plan on doing.
Okay. So do not watch the movie. Keep your eyes closed. Just listen to it.
And immerse yourself in that experience.
Just listen to it. Go in blind.
Yes.
First Man, also in theaters this week.
Yes.
First Man on the Moon.
Not confused with the movie earlier this year, Early Man.
No, this is First Man. This is about the first man on the moon.
Yes.
Right.
This is Damien Chazelle's next project, starring Ryan Young Goose Gosling.
Young Goose.
And yeah, he's playing Neil Armstrong because of course he is.
Because why not?
Make the Canadian play an American hero.
Sure, why not? Also, lastly in theaters here, another Jack Black.
He's Canadian, right?
Gosling?
Yeah.
Probably. I actually don't know.
Well, no, Reynolds is Canadian.
Maybe you're getting them confused.
I might get my Ryans.
Get your Ryans in order.
I need to get my Ryans in order.
Rounding out the new releases this week, one more. Another Jack Black vehicle in Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween.
We're going to have 2 Jack Blacks?
Two times the Jack Black in theaters right now. If you want to see Jack Black, you can see him twice.
So you can see Jack Black the magician, and then go see Jack Black the writer? He's playing R.L. Stein?
I don't know if he's playing R.L. Stein. I don't know anything about the Goosebumps. This is a sequel to the Goosebumps movie that came out a couple of years ago.
Yes, where I believe he was R.L. or lived in the house of R.L. Stein.
I have no idea. I didn't realize. I thought he was just the author of those books. I didn't realize he was in the universe.
What, R.L. Stein?
R.L. Stein.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the lost book that comes to life.
Okay.
It's subtitled like Happy Halloween or something.
Haunted Halloween.
Haunted Halloween.
Haunted Halloween.
Yeah.
All right, those
just in time for Halloween.
Just in time for 2 weeks before Halloween.
Yep.
That is it for new releases coming up this weekend. Let's take a pit stop. You saw some movies. You saw a movie.
I saw a movie.
You saw Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga in a Bradley Cooper film,
Lady Gaga?
A Star is Born.
Oh.
No.
Well, it might as well be called colon.
So how's that dog? I hear that dog's pretty good.
That dog made me cry. I want a puppy.
Sad dog.
Yes.
What about the movie? How
All
about
right.
that?
So I had the option to see either Venom or A Star is Born.
You chose...
I chose to take my doctor to go see A Star is Born.
Yes. You have a weird relationship with your doctor.
I know.
Not a lot of people have that kind of bond. All right, keep going.
My doctor's nice like that.
Yes. How was your experience with the movie?
So we saw A Star Is Born, and a star has been born in Bradley Cooper, the director.
Okay.
This thing looks great.
Okay.
It feels great, and I want to give Bradley Cooper praise as director, but I'd also like to give praise to the DP, Matt Lebetique.
Ah, yes.
One of my favorites.
Yes.
He's an alumnus of Darren Aronofsky films.
Uh-huh.
Notably, he was nominated for Black Swan, and he did his other stuff as well. But yes, he's working with Bradley Cooper on this, and he actually does make a brief cameo. The only reason I know that is because, one, it's uncredited, but two, I just know what he looks like, and when it came by, I was like, oh, that's him! Haha!
Yeah.
Well, because he was playing a photographer during like a photo shoot.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, that's
good.
you.
That is good.
Yeah, that's good. But yes, I want to give him praise because this thing is shot beautifully. I want to give this thing a cinematography award already. So the basics. So story-wise, it's very simple. Bradley Cooper plays Jackson Maine, aging country artist who finds Lady Gaga playing, basically performing in a bar, and she sings La Vie en Rose.
Sure.
Very French and very sexual. So he decides to take her on tour because they bond after a bar fight, and long story short, A Star Is Born.
Right.
Yes. So it follows the career. It's very similar to Cars 3. Really, I bring that up?
Wait a minute, hold on. Or are you saying Cars 3 is just A Star Is Born?
A Star 3,
Because
yes.
you realize that this is the third time they've made this movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, but for those of you who haven't seen the previous two incarnations,
Yeah.
get it? Incarnations.
Incarnations.
Yes.
God.
Star Is Born is Cars 3, where the aging veteran undertakes the newbie in order to basically train and improve both lives, but then one surpasses the other.
So I was reading something yesterday about this movie, and I thought this was an interesting kind of thing they noticed about it. They said it's interesting that Lady Gaga's career in this film is like Lady Gaga's actual career in reverse.
No, it's actually follows real life, not reverse.
Well, no. Their argument for that was based on how right now in Lady Gaga's career she's trying to strip it down and do like more acoustic or piano numbers, and she's trying to like focus on ballads and make quote unquote real music unquote. When back in the 2000s when she debuted, she was all about big pop star moments with ridiculous costume changes and choreography and like bombastic performances. And so they were saying in the film, the Lady Gaga character goes from the quieter end of the spectrum ends up in the louder end of the spectrum, whereas Gaga's career trajectory has been reversed.
No, it's actually it just follows Gaga's career as an artist. In that she started off small writing and then made the switch into big bombastic, because I don't want to spoil the end because that's how it comes back into it.
I don't think anybody would be surprised if that's how this movie ended.
Oh no, you can be surprised how this movie ends.
I don't know. Anyways. Okay, well, I just thought that was potentially interesting. Yes. Okay, maybe that's not what happened.
I actually agree with Matt's thing. read about the movie.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyways.
Yeah. Speaking of Lady Gaga, let's talk about her for a minute.
Yeah, how is she in this thing?
She's pretty good.
Okay.
I like her in this film. She gets very naked in this film.
Well, Gaga's never been that. She's always been open to her.
Yes, but she also strips down very well.
Well, yeah.
Not in physically, but in like her voice and melody.
Okay.
It's there's several times because Lady Gaga doesn't like performing in the studio. I don't know if you knew that.
Right.
When they shot this film, everything was shot on set.
Yeah.
Much like Les Miserables.
Yeah, my understanding is that she requested all the singing to be recorded live.
Yes, and it was. And the movie definitely benefits from it.
Yeah.
It was not lip-synced. That is actually Bradley Cooper's voice singing.
Yeah.
That is Lady Gaga singing. That is everyone
singing.
Performing. I mean, that's what it is. And this film oozes, like, richness from it.
Right.
A lot of it is music. I like how, like, each new musical number, not really number, but musical piece, moves the story forward into what people, not only, like, how they're feeling about each other, but also, like, where they're at. And you can see the dynamic change between writing about yourself versus writing about, like, adventures, and then writing about love and loss, and it's progression, and that's what you like to see in a movie. You like to see your characters progress and go towards goals, and everything comes out happy endings until you start crying because of the dog at the end.
Oh no, not the dog! Spoiler. Anyways.
Spoiler.
So okay.
It is also note that this movie takes notes heavily from recent musical exchanges. By that, I mean the rise in addictions of awareness between drugs and alcohol and sex and rock and roll.
Okay. Does it do those things, like, respectfully? Like, does it approach this delicately?
It tiptoes around it. It doesn't, like, basically shout in your face, but it does at times. But when it does, it immediately pulls back because it knows, like, okay, you get what we're going for here. Now let's get back to the actual story we're trying to tell.
Okay.
So it works in the progression, and especially culminates well as it gets towards the end.
Okay.
So it's definitely well done. I can see that Bradley Cooper took a lot of directional notes from David O. Russell, and not the bad ones, which is good.
Good. Good thing.
He took a lot of notes from his family dynamics.
Yeah.
And character interactions, and not necessarily plot points, which is definitely good.
That's good because he was always really good at character acting.
Yes, let's give Bradley Cooper his props for his acting and singing. He's so good. Yes, real good. I think the Stars Born soundtrack is out there for Spotify.
It is.
I believe it's on Billboard somewhere.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I don't believe it was eligible for this week, but next week we'll probably be talking about it.
Yes.
But yeah. Wow. Okay. So.
But so this movie is great, but I'm gonna jump ahead into a spoiler at the end.
Okay.
Because the one thing that's been on my mind, and one thing that keeps, like, hitting at me, is at the very end, Lady Gaga goes out on stage and she goes super Whitney Houston on the end.
Okay.
And by that I mean The Bodyguard.
Okay.
It is clearly in your face. This is the love song of the movie. The love song of A Star Is Born.
Right. Love theme from Star Is Born.
Yes.
Got it.
It's a great song.
Okay.
And I'm glad it hasn't been in the trailers. I'm glad it hasn't been spoiled anywhere.
It's kept for the end of the movie.
It's kept for the end of the movie on purpose.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised if you see this song either get radio plays or at weddings, or it becomes couples' love songs, because it's that big and it's that good. I hope it gets to that status of
all right.
I Will Always Love You.
Okay.
It's
this
like,
movement here.
Yes, because it goes over the top, but at the same time, it's exactly where it needs to be. It's played beautifully. The song is sung beautifully, and it brings tears to your eyes. And these girls in the back were literally sobbing.
Aww.
As the ending was going on. It was lovely.
So, of course, the question now is, what do you give it on the Media Boat, the patented Media Boat scale? Is it a go see it, is it a stream it, or is it a pass?
I'm going to say go see it.
Okay.
It's going to be a good time. The story is simple. While there is stuff that goes deep, like really deep into like music industry and talents and like I said before, the drugs and addiction, it's really resonating in a human level of a story. That I can see this. I can see why. In a moment, we're going to talk about it. Getting award push.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially not just because it's Bradley Cooper's first time directing, or Lady Gaga's acting, or even the music. It's everything put together in a cohesive story that not only makes you root for these characters, but never loses your attention, and it's a ballad, in a sense, to music industry and icons.
Okay. So yeah, I think...
I forgot. Sam Elliott's in this thing too. And
yeah.
He's great. I want to give him a supporting actor nod for this thing. He's in it very briefly, but every time he's in it, it's powerful. I mean, he's probably only in the movie like in a total maybe 20 minutes.
Okay.
But every time he's there, you see him. One, you know that's Sam Elliott, and two, it's very powerful. And he brings it. It's like, yes, I'm Sam Elliott. I'm here to give you my 2 cents on everything, and you're gonna pay attention. And the last shot you see of Sam Elliott is very emotionally hard hitting, and yeah, you like this film.
Yeah, I have like a bunch of movies I need to see, so I'll get to it hopefully. But yeah, no, what I was gonna say a few minutes ago, I was trying to get this in, because it was what we were talking about before.
Oh yeah.
When you're talking about award season push, like I was gonna say that, I think that this is gonna be kind of the siren call, the start of award season.
Yes.
I really think that this is the film. Like every year, there's always a film. It's like, oh, okay. Last year, I think it was Lady Bird.
Yeah.
It was just like, all right, we're starting to talk about this now. And open the floodgates. The award movies are coming.
Yes.
It's Oscar season.
Yes.
Get ready.
We have this film, and then we have First Man coming up this week, and then we have Bohemian Rhapsody at the start of November.
Right.
And that's going to be the first wave.
Yeah.
Of Hollywood's push for Oscars.
Yep. So get ready. Award season is upon us.
Yes. Lady Gaga will win original song in this thing.
Oh yeah. This is
a
original
foregone conclusion.
Shoe in.
For
sure.
And like I said, I hope it really is that final song and not the Shallow that they've been playing.
Okay.
I really do hope there's that final song.
It might be. Or if it's like La La Land, maybe there'll be 2 nominated.
I mean, yeah, but as for winning, I want the last one to win. Because if it does, it'll, like I say, break into that zeitgeist of theme love songs from the movie.
It could happen. All right. Did you see any other movies?
No, nothing worth reporting.
Okay. Same deal. Let's move on then into movie news. Our first story, speaking of award season.
OMG, Bohemian Rhapsody. Yes, we're going to be talking about that in a minute. But first, we want to talk about one of our favorite studios and financial troubles.
So yeah, first up, we have a story about, speaking of award season, a studio known for earning some awards in its past, Annapurna.
It's one of our favorite studios.
So, but this news is about stuff that they're no longer doing.
Oh.
They're pulling out of 2 projects. 2 projects, in fact, that I believe we've mentioned here on the Media Boat podcast.
Yes, we have.
Before. First up, Jay Roach's untitled Roger Ailes movie. And the untitled, and the Jennifer Lopez vehicle called Hustlers. In addition to its head of production, Chelsea Bernard, exiting the company. Ever since Annapurna started up its own marketing distribution arm in July 2017, it has gone through some $200 million in overall costs. while its slate of 5 releases since then have combined to earn less than $40 million at the domestic box office. Those numbers don't add up.
No. One of those releases is Detroit, which was last year.
Right.
And the other one was... I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was Detroit, but it didn't even earn Oscar buzz. But I saw it anyways because one, it was Annapurna, and two, Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah.
And those were passion projects.
Right. Speaking of passion projects, that might be the cause of their money woes.
What?
So, it says CEO Megan Ellison has long been an opulent catalyst for getting auteur's prestige passion projects. Who wrote this? On the screen, but with The Big Short, one of their more major successes, it even only made $116 million. After that, they still needed a hit. So right now, all money is on their next film, Vice.
Yes, this is
to be a big success.
Well, because this is also by Adam McKay.
Yeah.
The budget on The Big Short was only $35 million.
So it made money, but for the studio to be rolling in dough,
it's got to make more. They got to keep
more.
The hits coming.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this is still a business.
Yes, unfortunately. You can make your passion projects, but you got to make sure that you have something being your moneymaker.
Right. I mean, this is why Blumhouse allows a lot of people to make the passion projects, because they make all that money back on cheap-ass horror films.
It's true. That is definitely true. All right, so we'll see how that goes.
Yes.
Next up, we have a follow-up story about one of our favorite directors.
So, anyways, for Vice, that's the next Adam McKay starring...
Right.
Michael Fassbender. Yes, Michael Fassbender.
Okay.
No, Christian Bale.
Pick one.
Michael Fassbender?
Pick one.
It's one of them.
I don't know.
I forget which one put on weight. Christian Bale. I think he's the character actor.
Sure.
Christian Bale as Dick Cheney, Vice President Dick Cheney.
Oh,
Sam
right.
Rockwell as President George W. Bush.
Yes.
And that entire fiasco of a president. Not fiasco.
Yes.
But that presidency, like the rise and power of Dick Cheney. From CEO to Vice President.
Well, I get it. Vice.
Yes.
That's funny. I get it.
It's Vice.
I get it.
Yes. Yes. However, the budget for that is at $65 million.
Ooh.
$30 million more than what he did for The Big Short.
Right.
Which means this needs to be a hit, otherwise the studio could be in trouble.
Yeah.
Or maybe it couldn't be, because I don't know if you know this, but the CEO is the daughter of the CEO of Oracle.
Huh, weird.
The tech company.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they've been pumping money in.
Money begat money.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, hopefully Annapurna is able to turn it around, give us some hits, because I really love that studio.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. And let's try this segue one more time. So let's move on.
You got me under the gun here?
What?
You got me under the gun here?
No.
Oh.
What?
I don't know. You seem to be like trying to move this along.
Yes, because these shows are too long. Anyways, let's move on.
All right.
We have to keep going. All right. Our next story is a follow-up story about James Gunn. We've been following his fallout after being ousted at Disney from the Guardians of the Galaxy series.
But things are starting to look up. Okay?
Yes. Because he has a job offer over at rival studio Warner Brothers.
You mean DC?
Yes, exactly. He's been hired by Warner Brothers in DC to write, and with an eye to direct, the next installment of the Suicide Squad franchise. Yes, ironically enough, the movie that was done tonally to match the tone of a Guardians of the Galaxy movie might be written by the dude who wrote Guardians of the Galaxy. Who would have guessed that turn of events?
That's very apt, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is right up James Gunn alley. It's a satirization of comic book characters in a communal setting that just happens to be villains.
Yeah.
I think this is right up his alley.
It could be. But yeah, Warner Brothers had director Gavin O'Connor attached to that film, the sequel to Suicide Squad. But now he's engaged in directing Ben Affleck in the Brad Inglesby scripted drama Torrance. Like Torrance, California, which is also at the studio.
I didn't see
Anything about Torrance. Okay, who knows?
It just said that they were going to do that one.
The studio has been in talks with Gunn to step in and develop the film, and the deal was made after he was settled out of the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 by Disney. So,
and that right there is the other part. They settled, which means officially James Gunn will not return in any capacity to Disney.
Which makes sense, because at this point he probably is just as pissed, where he's just probably like, well, you guys screwed me out. I don't want to work with you guys anymore. So even if they came back hat in hand with a big paycheck for him, he'd probably still tell them no.
I mean, we all hoped that he'd return for Guardians 3, but now even that film is currently up in the air. I mean, they don't really need to finish that story because there's no loose ends. The only thing that was loose end was Adam Warlock's story, which they can even spin that off into its own film, explore more of that cosmic universe. But yeah, as for the actual story of the Guardians, outside of the end of Avengers 4, there's no need to tell another story.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because we all love those characters, and we love James Gunn's music choices. But we'll see what happens. I mean, they currently are... The internet hope is for Taika Waititi to take over Guardians and have it be a crossover with Thor.
Yeah. That could be.
For
all right.
Space Pirate.
Yeah.
Angel.
Yeah.
Angel Space Pirate. And Talking Rabbits.
Yeah, I could see that working. Yeah. Tonally, those movies are similar now, so...
Yeah, and people really liked the interaction between Thor and Rocky Raccoon. And so should this actually take place, hey, it could be nice to kill two birds with one stone. Two franchises with the same movie.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Disney decides to do that. Probably past 2020.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we might get a Suicide Squad movie.
We'll get a Suicide Squad probably 2020.
Gunn, which is insane. So I didn't see Suicide Squad 1. How would you say tonally it would work with a James Gunn script?
The first, third of that movie was fine.
Okay.
It was the next 2/3 when they went into the city and then had to fight against the monster with the blue light laser.
Okay.
Which describes a lot of movies, but yes, that's the point.
The rest of that movie is...
That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It needs the family thing that they tried to do. Make these villains, come together as a family, but couldn't, whereas James Gunn did that in one shot.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's going to do here. Or he could do something completely different. I'll probably end up seeing this one, though. Because James Gunn has a really weird sense of humor and weird eye, as we have learned.
Yes, it's true. Might actually get me to see one of those things, because I haven't seen any of those DC movies. All right.
It's not Wonder Woman.
It's not Wonder Woman. That doesn't count. Moving on. The one of them. All right. Moving on. Our next story is our weekly Netflix story.
All right.
This time, they've been making moves with buying studios. I don't mean production studios. I mean production studios. There's a difference.
All right. So, what's the production studio?
I mean a place where productions happen.
Oh.
I mean...
You mean warehouses. You mean studio
warehouse
lots.
Sets.
Studio lots.
Studio lots. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about this.
Yes.
Because they've purchased ABQ Studios in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I'll say ABQ stands for Albuquerque.
Sounds delicious. No, that's BBQ. Sorry. ABQ Studios is a studio in Albuquerque. Netflix has purchased them. When the deal is done, the company has promised to bring $1 billion of television and film production to the state of New Mexico over the next decade. It's the new Georgia, a.k.a. This is the streaming company's first foray into studio purchasing and will now allow Netflix to streamline their production process. Of the projects that Netflix is currently developing, Daybreak, Chambers, and Messiah, all three different shows, I'm guessing, are going to make use of the new studios. Previously, if you're wondering what else they've done...
What else have they done? I'm curious.
Films such as The Avengers, Logan, and Sicario have filmed there, as well as TV shows like Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, and Preacher.
Those are AMC shows.
The purchase of ABQ Studios will also mean job growth for Albuquerque, as the streaming service plans on hiring up to 1,000 production jobs each year over the next decade. So that's a windfall, not only for the city of Albuquerque, but also for Netflix. I think this is a win-win.
This sounds great.
Yeah.
There's a lot of land in New Mexico
Yeah.
for warehouses, and it's I guess a booming city. I know they have like great tax cuts, but you know it's out in the middle of like basically the desert. So
Yeah.
what are you gonna shoot out there?
I mean,
if you're looking for like a wasteland of a TV series, yeah, that's gonna work for you.
yeah.
But yeah, look for Wasteland, the new series by Netflix.
If they ever do a Fallout show, there you go. Film it there.
Yeah, I can see that
I can see a Fallout show.
on Netflix.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Anyways, so that would be cool. That's good news to expand the ever expanding Netflix.
Yep, they're just gonna keep pumping money, keep making that OC for us. That's original
OC.
content.
Okay.
Not
Not the OC.
not
They're not rebooting the OC.
No.
MTV is rebooting The Hills apparently, or no?
Yes.
Yeah, or something
like
that.
Well, it's something like that. Cause I
The
think
Hills? Yeah, it was the Hill. I think it was The Hills.
they got the Hills. Heidi or Spencer?
Somebody from the OC was going to be in
That's
the
what it
reboot
was.
of The Hills.
That's what it was.
Which
Misha
was-
Barton.
Yeah, Misha Barton was going to.
That's
be
what
in
I.
The Hills.
Yeah.
Oh, Christy would kill me if I didn't say that correctly. Okay. All right. Let's move on to our next story here, which is, speaking of award season, talk is starting about the Golden Globes already.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Okay.
It's early.
So-
we're already talking about the Golden Globes.
So, speaking of awards, what are they talking about?
They're talking about the category of comedy musical.
Oh, you mean from The Martian?
Yeah.
That comedy /
Yes,
musical?
comedy musical, that famous category. It will be losing two of its big competitors, as Warner Brothers has opted to instead enter A Star Is Born and Fox entering Bohemian Rhapsody, both in the drama category instead of the musical.
But they're...
Yes.
The
I know.
two movies that are about the music industry, not in the musical.
I think this is fair because, to use a film school term,
Okay, film school.
the music in these films is diegetic, which means that it comes from the world of the film. In these movies, the performances are performances, or studio practice, or they're always being performed by the people in the world, right? Whereas La La Land, a musical, they will break into musical numbers as if the world of the film was used to that. That's not diegetic. That's something else.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I think is fair, and I think it's fair that these films are not musicals.
There's a lot of music in these films. I mean,
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody is going to run through the entire catalog of Queen.
Probably, give or take. But yeah, it's so I get both arguments. I guess is what I'm trying to say. I guess I understand why somebody would be like, "Oh, those are musicals," because they've got music throughout. But I would also understand the studios being like, "Well, one, the more prestigious award is the drama award. They know that."
Yes, because in the past, the one that won drama usually goes on to win Best Picture, or it gets the easy nomination.
It's, part of the road, yes.
Well, except for the last 2 years, where one was The Martian that got the nom, and then last year Lady Bird got the nom,
right,
and won for writing.
Yes. So yeah, it'll be an interesting race because those are obviously not the only two films that will possibly be in the race.
Well, what else?
Annapurna and Universal are still mulling what they want to do with their Globe contenders. Adam McKay's Vice, as we previously discussed, and Focus Features is submitting Spike Lee's Black Klansman, which you saw, as a drama instead of a comedy. The deadline.
that was I could see because they want that film to be taken seriously.
Right.
So yeah, put it in the drama. But I can see the fight for Adam McKay because Adam McKay is a comedic director.
But I feel like after The Big Short, everybody saw now, it's like, even though that movie had its moments, it's a drama.
Yeah.
It's a drama. It's not a comedy. That's like saying that, Wolf of Wall Street was a comedy, which it was definitely not.
I don't know about that. It has some pretty hilarious moments.
But it's not about that, though. Anyways, so the studios have a little bit of time left, a couple weeks here. The deadline is October 31st. And it's up to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, who votes for the Golden Globes, to decide the category that they deem appropriate for the film anyways.
Right.
So they can submit it for the drama category, but if the foreign press think that Star is Born doesn't qualify, they'll put it in the musical category anyways.
Well, either that or if there's too many nominations for drama and they want to give awards to other stuff, they could do that as well.
So we'll see what happens when the Golden Globe nominations are announced, probably in a couple months.
Yes, award season. It's getting time.
It's coming. It's coming. All right, let's move on. That is it for our movies. So that means we get to move on to television. And we always start television with sports.
All right, the world of sports.
World of sports. Mike's Sports Corner. We start the world of sports in
baseball.
Baseball. It's playoffs time.
Yes,
the Brewers beat the Rockies, and the Dodgers beat the Braves. The Astros beat the Indians, and the Red Sox beat the Yankees.
Yeah, so we got Astros versus Red Sox in the conference. And then we have Dodgers versus Brewers in the NL conference. Go Dodgers.
Yeah, I guess, because hometown.
Angels are done, Yankees are done. Let's try to see the Astros win again.
I don't really care.
Yeah. I don't. Go Dodgers.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Our horse in the race lost, so we're kind of...
My horse in the race didn't even qualify. It didn't even finish the race.
So, yeah, limped across.
It fired its manager halfway through the race.
It retired at halftime, is that what you're saying?
Basically, it's what it felt like.
Speaking of retiring at halftime, the NFL keeps chugging along. The 5th straight week an NFL game has gone into overtime, by the way.
Yes, that is a record.
Yeah.
Because that shouldn't be happening. Just because it's overtime doesn't mean that there are ties.
No.
It just means that they needed an extra 15 or so minutes to finish off a game.
Yes. Anything else special happen in football?
For those of you doing fantasy football, bye week started last week for everyone.
Yeah.
Which means for the next 6 weeks,
keep an eye
on your players because they'll go in and out of buys. So look out for that bye week, hell week. Week 10 approaching soon.
Yeah.
We think we're in week 6 here because most teams take their break around week 9, 10,
midway through.
Yeah.
Okay. And then hockey started.
Yes, and then abruptly ended. Yes.
Yes.
My goalie, Jonathan Quick of the Kings, got put on the IR after the first game.
Oops.
Yeah, so we're starting our backup goalie. Quick has been a glass cannon for us. But hey, that's my problem, not yours.
Yeah, elsewhere in the world, hockey, anything special happening?
Elsewhere special? Nothing of note, but hockey has started, so bye, Mark. We won't see you forever.
Well, we'll see. All right, that is sports. Anything else sports before we move on?
Nothing I can... No.
Any more Rovals?
No, Rovals is one thing. But the playoffs for the Cup are still happening.
Yes.
Those are Sundays. I think that's going on for the next 2 or 3 weeks
NASCAR,
before that round.
just to be clear.
Yes, for that wraps up.
Okay.
And then, in the world of MMA fighting, Conor McGregor versus Khabib.
I heard about this.
Got in a fight.
Right. After the fight.
So, Conor McGregor, the former champ and Mayweather dance partner, lost to Khabib. And then after he lost, they went and had another kind of skirmish while they were doing the belt presentation. It's hilarious to watch because these are grown men fighting over a belt. But
that's true.
Hey, EOC came out and said that they will not revoke his number 1 title or his new ranking or his belt. So McGregor, get to training or prison. I forget which one you're going to.
I choose that one. All right. So that does it for sports. Then.
Well, you gotta realize that the last thing McGregor punched besides Khabib was a glass door. So.
All right. Let's move on.
All right.
Anyways, let's talk about television news proper. Our first story is a scary one.
Okay, what's scary? Who got in trouble?
Well, no. It's a scary one for our wallets, our future of our wallets. So remember how every
Not
time
my wallet.
I know, not your wallet. You know how every time we talk about the Disney streaming service and talk about our impending future about having to pay all sorts of different studios for all sorts of different streaming services and just having to pay everyone $10 a month?
Didn't we say this already happened?
Well, it's already happening.
Okay.
And it's going to still happen because Warner Brothers is getting in on the act too. Warner Media boss John Stankey. Which is a great name. Ooh. What is that? Oh, it's John Stankey. He announced the company will throw down the gauntlet against Disney and digital competitors with a new direct-to-consumer streaming service launching by the end of 2019, just like Disney's. The streaming service would draw from the media company's broad collection of film, television shows, animation, and its library. The objective, of course, will be to capture the full potential of the former Time Warner assets, for which AT&T forked over $100 billion, including the assumption of debt.
Yes, if you remember correctly,
Yes.
AT&T
Bought
purchasing
everything.
Yeah.
Time Warner is gone. It's AT&T Warner now. Well, AT&T Time Warner.
Yes.
Or whatever the hell they end up calling
Warner
it.
Media, as they're going to
Warner
call
Media.
it.
But yes, HBO Now, by the way, launched its $15 offering in 2015 for its streaming service and passed 5 million subscribers at the start of 2018. Stanky says... it's never not funny. Stanky says that the new service would be more expensive compared to HBO Go, or Now, due to the volume of the content it's expected to have. So, imagine paying $20 a month or more for exclusive access to everything Warner. I think that's way too much money.
You think that, but we still don't have a price point for the Disney.
Oof, they can't do 20. They have to keep it at 10. No one's going to pay $20.
15? Well, 20 a month.
Well, then again, if anybody can do it, it's Disney.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, however, I think that they have 10 or 15, and I don't think they can go higher than
Well,
that.
with Warner, you get probably HBO, all of DC,
Yeah.
all of Harry Potter,
Well,
all Lego.
that's a good point, though. They launched a DC exclusive streaming service just a few weeks ago.
Yes.
So I don't think they would cannibalize the two. I think they would keep that spun off as its own thing.
Well, no, I think you gain access to it, much like you gain access to on-demand services via, like, DirecTV.
Oh, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, what they do with this thing, yeah, it would have a lot of content on it. That would potentially have everything Cartoon Network.
Right.
It would have everything...
Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Boomerang.
Looney
Hanna-Barbera.
Tunes back catalog there. Yeah, Hanna-Barbera cartoons would be on there. But yeah, their film library... God, yeah. There's a bunch of imprints under the Warner label that they could put in there. Village Roadshow is them, I think.
Yeah.
Like, the
Dimension Film.
Dimension is under them. Yeah, it's like there was a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Easily a lot. The whole TBS, TNT,
Mm-hmm.
that's all Turner, which is them. That's insane. It's a lot, but we'll see.
Okay. I'd price it at 15.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
I think 20 sounds like a lot. But
Yeah.
if they say 20, but you get basically everything here, then it's more of an incentive. But
And maybe we'll have to wait until we see what it actually offers.
we definitely have to. Disney's can and will
Yeah,
make the first move because they've already announced it.
Yep.
So I think Warner's going to hold off on pricing it until after they see that, and then give their take at the end of the year.
Again, though, all I know is that it's going to be a really expensive future. If they put enough exclusive stuff that's worth owning all these things, man, it would suck to have to buy all of this every month.
Yeah, but you realize that normal cable packages
Oh yeah, I know. People
are
spend a lot
already
more
like
money on that
$200
stuff.
a month.
I know.
And if you just do Disney and so if you do Disney at 20, Time Warner at 20, Netflix at 10, that's 50 a month for a lot of stuff already.
Yeah.
Then you do HBO at 15. Amazon comes with your Prime. What else do you really need? Hulu?
I mean, that's the thing, is that I feel like as soon as you start
YouTube
doing that,
Live?
that's when you realize that there's more stuff you need to buy.
Yeah. That's also when you realize that you get to like 80, which is still cheaper doing internet streaming that way than paying for cable.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll see how it shakes out.
Money! Green stuff. Alright. Well, if I'm going to try and do all this streaming, can I just like buy it all at one place?
You could. At a big box retailer such as Costco.
What do you mean Costco? They don't do that.
Well, guess what? Costco is reportedly considered launching an over-the-top video service for its premier membership customer.
Hey, I'm a Premier membership customer.
For now, the service would have partnered... Trying to burst your bubble. The service would have partnered with an existing over-the-top... I love that term, too.
Over the top.
Over the top.
I know, it says OTT.
OTT, you know me. Video platform to reduce costs aimed to mirror Prime Video, offering Prime members free access to myriad catalog TV shows and movies. In addition to original content, yes, original Costco content, imagine that. I don't know what that even means.
Is that Kirkland branded?
Yes. Kirkland Films presents. That's really good. Anyways, it would also sought to include the streaming service with its executive $120 annual membership, which includes 2% back on purchases. I like how you like added in this little advertisement for the premium Costco membership.
Gotta get the props.
Negotiations reportedly broke down with a potential OTT video partner, though, over financial terms. So, who knows if this will ever happen. I don't know if Costco is going to have a streaming service. Who knows? But it could happen.
I mean, Walmart has Vudu.
That's true. Walmart does own Vudu. I learned that in our elevator the other day. I did not know that until I read that. It's fascinating what you learn in an elevator going to work.
Yeah.
Okay. So that could happen. You know what else could happen?
What could happen?
Well, it's something that's actually still happening. The Witcher on Netflix.
You mean Henry Cavill's The Witcher?
Henry Cavill's The Witcher. In fact, more casting has been announced, which is what we're talking about here.
Okay.
Freya Allan of War of the Worlds into the Badlands, and Anya Chalotra.
Good job.
I tried my best. The ABC Murders in Wonderlust have joined Henry Cavill as Ciri and Yennefer, both characters in the Witcher universe. I've never played any of these Witcher games, but man, the name Yennefer is fun to say.
Yennefer?
Yennefer. It's like Jennifer, but with a Y.
Maybe it just calls her Jennifer.
No, but it's spelled with the Y.
I know,
so
but that's the joke. He just keeps calling her Jennifer, but he keeps correcting.
No, I think that it's Yennefer.
It's Yen.
Everybody calls her Yennefer. I just like saying Yennefer. It's a fun name.
Alright, fun.
But yeah, Ciri, if you're wondering, is not the Apple assistant.
No. This is...
It's the young princess of Cintra, one of the kingdoms at the center of the plot. Yennefer, meanwhile, is a sorceress and Geralt, who's Cavill's character, main love interest.
Oh, so they...
Yes, Yennefer.
Yennefer and Cavill.
Yennefer and Cavill, sitting in a tree. She is also a mother figure to Ciri. Rounding out the cast are Jodie May from Game of Thrones and Genius as Queen Calanthe. Bjorn Hjolnir... Wow, okay, one more try here. Bjorn Hjolnir Haraldsson, I guess of Fortitude, is her husband. And, the Knight East, and Levy of Nightfall and Snatch as the druid Mousesack. What?
This is hilarious watching you struggle through this.
Mousesack.
This is hilarious.
It's a person.
Because I know you've never played these games, that you're just butchering it to hell.
My Anna Buring. Not your Anna, but my Anna Buring.
Your Anna.
As the head of Magical Academy at Artuza Tisaya, Mimi Nidiweni as Therica Wilson Reed. Oh, and Therica Wilson Reed as Novice Sorcerers, and Millie Brady, that's a name I can say, as an outcast named Princess Renfree.
Does this mean anything to you?
No, I don't know who any of these people are. At all.
It's okay.
The
It's
characters
all
in
Polish.
The Witcher, I guess.
It's all Polish.
They're all Polish. It's all Polish to me.
Well, it is because
That's smart.
CG Project Red
Right.
is based in Warsaw.
Also, it's based on books that were apparently really popular in Poland.
Yes.
So there you go. So yeah, guess keep an eye out on that one if you like The Witcher.
Yes.
That's
This will probably be our
coming soon.
last update until we see
Until
a
it comes
trailer.
out. Yep.
It comes out. Because casting's done. Pre-production's all done. They're going to move very quickly soon here into actual production, principal photography.
Yep.
Which is great news for all of us nerds. Or fans of The Witcher.
Fans of The Witcher. All right, moving on. Our last story in television here is about good old Cal Penn.
You mean White House?
Yes.
Uh,
Obama aide, or whatever the hell he did in the White House during the Obama administration.
Yes.
Cal Penn is, if you've been wondering what he's been up to lately.
What's he been up to lately? He was on, last I saw him was How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, he was on that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's set to co-write, executive produce, and star in a comedy series project alongside Matt Murray and creator-executive producer Michael Schur supervising. The plot centers on a disgraced New York City councilman and former baseball wunderkind, Garrett Shaw, played by Penn, who finds his calling when faced with 6 recent immigrants in search of the American dream. Okay.
Okay.
Penn.
So, uplifting.
Yeah, could be. Penn recently worked on
Comedy?
Designated Survivor, and Murray and Schur have worked together, of course, on creating Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and The Good Place.
Well, I like all 3 of those shows.
Yes,
So is this going to be a comedy then?
sounds like it. I
Comedy
would
American
say-
Dream?
Yeah, I could see that.
Alright. Is there a title for this thing?
No,
Alright.
name it.
Name the show.
Okay. A New York City councilman who used to be a baseball player who has to help 6 immigrants.
Angel in the Outfield.
No.
Oh.
Let's do...
Trouble with the Curve.
Huddled masses.
Huddled.
Huddled masses.
Baseball, not football.
No, huddled masses like immigrants. Like, bring me your huddled masses.
Yes, but huddle is a
Huddled-
football term.
I don't care. I still think huddled masses is a good name for this show. Huddled masses. Anyways. So stay tuned for Huddled Masses this fall on NBC. That's got to land on NBC.
Well,
I
all those
cannot
other
imagine
shows,
it
all those other
anywhere
shows landed on NBC, and I mean, even though Brooklyn Nine was on Fox, it
Yeah.
was produced.
Now it's on NBC.
I know it was produced and created on the NBC lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Huddled Masses.
Huddled Masses.
Huddled Masses.
I don't know about that.
Money on that. Anyways, I would not actually put money on that. That is it for television news, which means, oh boy, we're already almost an hour in, and we haven't talked about the television we've watched this week.
Yes, and we have music reviews and video game reviews
Oh, we
as
have
well.
so much to talk about. So let's get started. You watched a lot of TV this week.
Yes, but this is all stuff we're going to go through real quickly.
Okay, good.
Except for one of them.
All right, so first, let's get the small ones done. First of all, you watched... What do you want to talk about first?
Let's go in order. 'Cause I don't know if I talked about this or
Million
not.
Little Things again, for some reason.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if I talked about this or not.
You talked about the pilot. We talked
Okay.
about the pilot.
Alright, so I talked about the pilot. So I watched episode 2,
Yeah.
and it's more the
Sucks.
same.
Sucks.
It's, hey, we're gonna help this guy, or we're gonna figure out why he did this. But everyone has their secrets. A million little secrets. That's what this should be called.
Nope.
Because everyone's hiding stuff until they finally rip it out of them, have an emotional moment, then we're on to the next episode. Rinse, repeat, show.
Yeah.
Alright, done.
All right. What about you're continuing to watch My Hero Academia?
That ended, that wrapped up season 3. Season 3 of the dub. The sub is not out yet, but season 3 has wrapped up. They continued and have yet to graduate 3 seasons into this thing. which is par for mangas, of course.
Mm-hmm.
They drag it out as long as they can.
Yeah.
But I still continue to enjoy it. They continue to introduce new heroes, and the young class is now going to go up against the upper class in season 4, and do even more heroes versus villains in training as the villains continue to congregate with each other and build up an army. And I see this thing clashing out really big and brass, and I love the writing on it. It's great. If you're not watching My Hero Academia and you love anime like Dragon Ball Z, give this thing a shot. It's worth it. It's fun. Or watch One Punch Man again, because that thing's still good.
All of the above.
Yeah.
All right. We watched the season premiere of Hell's Kitchen.
Yes, Hell's Kitchen, rookies versus pros.
Yeah, different twist this season.
Yeah, so last season they did their first twist with All-Stars and bringing back some favorites that we liked during the Hell's Kitchen's episodes or seasons. Now they're doing rookies versus pros, another staple of what do we do when we run out of ideas.
Yeah.
So as the premise states,
newbies
versus returners. Returners are well versed in everything,
but full of themselves.
And it is worth noting for those of you who love Hell's Kitchen, they killed off one of the main characters.
Well, kind
of. Yes. They killed off the risotto.
But they reintroduced a different risotto, so really it doesn't make a difference.
Yes. The famous Gordon Ramsay risotto, which gives everyone troubles all the time, has been replaced by one of the contestants' risotto. It's funny enough, it's the same contestant who made the same risotto 5 days a week.
Or so he says.
So,
yeah. But yeah, otherwise it's still Hell's Kitchen. It's just with a little bit of a twist.
Yes.
So
it's a good twist. I like it, but then again, I enjoy Hell's Kitchen, so
yeah,
there's that.
All right, and then lastly, before we talk about the major one here, you watched 911.
Oh yeah, season 2 of 911.
Keep forgetting that exists.
Yes, it exists on Fox. I still enjoy it. It did a special two-part episode of what if the big earthquake happened, and the team runs in and basically has to help a building that's collapsing on itself in a 2-part episode. They put a lot of production into this thing.
Yeah.
Probably because I know LA, I can see where they film stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's right across from here. Oh, that's over there. Oh, that's actually here. Hey, I know that place. That's off here. But that's just because live in LA and know where stuff is. But it's a fun show. I like it. They got away from the romantic development that was going on between the firefighter and the 911 operator, which unfortunately means they got rid of Connie Britton this season.
Oh, okay.
Tear, because her arc really did wrap up at the end of the first season. But they say that she's leaving. She went away to, quote, find herself, so she may return at some point, should they choose to.
Should they?
But instead they brought in a second female lead, one of the characters' sisters. And she is a new 911 operator and has to deal with new stuff. Former nurse, so she tries to treat stuff on her own, but they keep telling her, no, you have to get them help.
Yes.
Like, don't assume stuff. Do as you're told, not try and fix them as they go.
Buy the book.
Buy the book. So that's really cool, interesting dynamic. I like this show. I could easily see this thing running for a long time. At the same time, it can get very procedural, which means there's not a whole lot you have to invest in this thing, which is good.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our last thing we have to talk about, I believe.
Yes, that brings us to this week's Netflix original, which is season 2 of Big Mouth.
Yes. So, the surprise hit, I want to say.
Yeah, we were certainly surprised by it, season 1.
I want to say it was on my top 5 list of last year.
It was on your top 5
Yeah,
list.
I believe it was number 5.
It's, in case you don't remember, Big Mouth is the Nick Kroll created and voiced.
Animated cartoon about middle schoolers,
junior high kids
going through puberty.
Yes. Which seems like an insane premise. And yeah, it is.
It is.
It doesn't stop being an insane premise in season 2.
No.
It's still the weirdest thing. I was trying to explain it to someone, and I was like, well, no, I can't explain this. It's like, it's such a weird thing. Why does this exist?
I mean, I don't particularly like Nick Kroll's comedy.
Sure.
John Mulaney is meh for me.
Yeah, I like John Mulaney.
And he has good stuff, but then he also is over the top, wannabe Jerry Seinfeld at points.
Sure. But yeah.
Yeah, it's
this
weird.
Show though.
It's one of those things that, but as you say it out loud, is weird and it will turn you off.
Oh yeah.
But as you watch it, it just brings you in and is hilarious with jokes and topical conversations. And it's very on the nose and on point about everything that it does, to where you want to see what happens.
Yeah, the joke writing is still funny. I think there's a lot of solid gags. The plots are still just as relevant and well done as they were in the first season. It does a surprisingly good job about covering topics that would actually happen with a middle school kid learning about their bodies and going through puberty. Like, every episode does a pretty good job about, like, yeah, this is a real thing that people deal with.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally there's musical numbers about it.
Yeah.
And occasionally there's, like, super weird, like, fantasy segments about these things. But it all somehow works.
Yeah.
And
it works.
Surprisingly sex positive.
And that's the thing about season 2 is that it stays that tone.
Yeah, they didn't miss a beat from the first season. It's definitely more of that. So if you enjoyed the first season, you will enjoy the second season.
Yes.
It's like just a continuation right where they left off.
Don't be surprised if you see more about this in the news or even around War Season, as one episode deals specifically and all around Planned Parenthood.
Yes, yeah.
In a not even in a positive message about it, but in a factual message about what Planned Parenthood is and how people get misinformation from it and fear-mongering and not knowing what it is, because, you know, as the show portrays everyone as middle schoolers, they don't know what it is, so they have to in turn basically flat out explain, this is Planned Parenthood, this is what they do, this is how they help, A, B, C, D, E, follow the plots.
Right.
Aside from that, they do introduce a new character, which every middle schooler goes through. And that is the Shame Wizard.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting kind of way for the show to not just talk about like puberty as the body develops, but also talk about it in a way where how your mental health develops and how kids around that age are just discovering what it means to be self-conscious about themselves and what they do, not only about self-conscious about how they're changing, which I think is really good. And it's very much touches on things that middle schoolers would in real life have to deal with on a mental and social level.
Yeah, and it's a great way for that to be pulled out into a personification of it. They treat it as an actual character. They treat it as something that is detrimental to these characters as well as positive influence. I mean, they do gain knowledge from it and they do learn from it.
Yes, but it still is a comedy at heart, and so it's still everything is still played for laughs. But yeah, there are lessons learned, and there are things to actually be gleaned from this. Which brings up the same point that I brought up when we talked about season 1, which is, who the hell is this for? Who is this for? Because the kids that this would probably actually help are too young to see this.
Yes.
Because there's stuff going on, language, situations, just all these things that I'm sure middle school kids do say and do in real life. But for a television show, it is definitely meant for adults.
Yes.
Which is so.
It's adult humor. There's adult references.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's sex.
It could be really educational.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Is it's such a strange. That just continues like how strange this thing is. It's like an adult raunchy Schoolhouse Rock. If they really if it really embraced like the raunchiness of it.
Yeah.
Like I just don't know. It's a show that's really hard to recommend. Because it's hard for me to say, yes, you should watch the show about middle school kids going through puberty. Where there's constant nudity, animated nudity, of course.
Yeah.
And references to 13-year-olds. Like, bodies. It's just like, there's no way to talk about this show or watch this show and, like, feel comfortable with it. But it's also really funny, and it's really well made.
It is.
So it's like...
At the very end, they do go deeper into mental health issues, not only with... Especially with one of the girl characters, about her progression of how, like, hormones can make you do a lot of stupid and crazy things.
Yeah.
And then that leads into basically a council of within the mind.
Okay.
And then that leads into depression and how to deal with depression.
Huh.
Not only in how it can be physically portrayed through, funny enough, a really large fluffy cat.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But then also how you can overcome it as well through the power of friendship, which is
interesting.
An interesting way to go about it. But it's also like really positive messages too, like how to like identify signs about it and how to go about it with your friends should you see any of this. The last couple episodes are really like, I guess that's par for the course because it is a TV show, positive and uplifting, and how to deal with all these struggles that we've been going through the entire season.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense, but it's also still one of the weirdest shows out there.
Yeah, it's it's hard to recommend, but I will say that if you like the first season, it's more of that. It's interesting that this thing exists.
Like I said before with this first season, give the first episode a shot.
Yeah, see if you like it.
If that is your tone, stick with it.
If it doesn't turn you off immediately, then stick with it. You'll probably enjoy the rest of it.
Yeah. But definitely sit through the first episode to get an idea of what this thing is.
Yes. All right.
All right.
That's it for television. Let's move into cancellations and renewals.
All right. What is being canceled and or renewed?
Oh, I guess real quick, I do want to mention one thing I watched. If you're watching Cartoon Network's OKKO...
Oh, that returned.
Monday, they did a special episode of the show.
The Cartoon Network crossover.
Yes, called OKKO Crossover Nexus. Get it? CN?
Yeah, CN.
Crossover Nexus. Which was fun because it was a crossover episode with all sorts of different Cartoon Network shows. Mainly Garnet from Steven Universe, Ben 10 from Ben 10,
yes.
and Raven from Teen Titans Go were kind of featured in the crossover, but it wasn't only them. It takes place in kind of a city that combines elements of all sorts of different Cartoon Network shows, and even has extra cameos from former Cartoon Network stars. I spotted I Am Weasel.
Really?
I spotted the building of the Townsville Center from Powerpuff Girls. I spotted this is one that I didn't think I would remember. One of the characters from Hi Hi Puffy Yumi. That you didn't think you would hear those words again.
No. No, I didn't.
Yes. Oh, and plenty more. So I recommend it.
So there's cuts for everyone.
There's something for everybody in that episode. It's fun. So yeah, if you have any nostalgia for a classic Cartoon Network, and if you like what they've been doing with OKKO, which is still a great show, check out the Crossover Nexus. It was a really neat neat 11 minutes of cartoon. Anyways, moving on to cancellations and renewals.
All right. So I ask yet again, what's being canceled and or renewed?
Well, first up, AMC is renewing Lodge 49 for a second season.
Oh.
Titans, on the aforementioned DC Universe streaming app,
Yes.
gets a second season.
Oh, 2 episodes in.
Yes, 2 episodes in, gets renewed. Netflix is renewing Marcella for a third season as well.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. And we move into deaths. This is a big death week.
Real quickly though.
Yes.
New Amsterdam.
Yes.
Is the first of the new series to get a full order.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
They got 9 more episodes added, so that puts it up to 22 episodes for the first season, and most likely we'll get a second if it gets this order already.
Wow, geez.
It is of note that this is a procedural, so it's not like Manifest, which is also getting huge hits for them.
Right.
Where they have to write out the entire, basically, season. But yeah, New Amsterdam's getting you 22 gold fresh episodes.
Okay. Good to hear. Moving on to deaths. This is a big week in deaths, unfortunately.
Yes.
We have a lot of dead people.
Oh, don't say it like that.
Boy. Yeah, it's not great. First up, Alex Spanos, age 95, owned the LA Chargers.
Oh, yes, the Spanos
Spanos.
family. Yes, he moved them, and then, they're going to go to the new LA Stadium.
Right. All right, Tim Chandler, age 58, who was a bassist for Daniel Amos, The Swirling Eddies, and The Choir. That's young, 58.
Yeah.
Arnold Kopelson, age 83, he was a producer on Platoon, The Fugitive, and Seven. George Taliaferro, age 91, he was a football player. He played for the Colts.
Baltimore Colts.
Well, the Baltimore Colts, yes. And he was a college Hall of Famer for Indiana, the Hoosiers.
But here is what is super of note of this guy.
But yes, most famous for being the first African-American selected in an NFL draft. Boom!
Yeah.
That's
91.
That's quite a thing.
I know.
Then Scott Wilson, age 76. He was an actor, The Walking Dead in Cold Blood and The Ninth Configuration. I believe he was a pretty main character in The Walking Dead.
He was the old guy. But
yes.
Well,
that
not
kind of
old
changed
guy,
some
but yeah.
plans, from what I understand. But yeah.
Yes.
Moving on, Will Vinton, age 70, most famous for being the originator of claymation. And I mean claymation.
Yes.
Because you could only call something claymation if it was by Will Vinton Studios. Fun fact about claymation.
Fun fact.
But yes, he of course created the California Raisins, The Adventures of Mark Twain, Return to Oz, plenty of stop motion films in the Will Vinton canon. An animation legend who will be missed. And lastly, Audrey Wells, age 58, director screenwriter of Under the Tuscan Sun, The Hate You Give, and The Truth About Cats and Dogs.
No.
So a loss for fans of the romantic comedy.
Yep.
Sounds like. All right, that's it for deaths. Let's move into music.
Okay, so top of the billboards.
Yep, it's time to top the billboards.
Top the billboards. I don't know if we can ever top the billboards. I mean, I'd hope to one day, but not necessarily.
So. But first up, we have the Billboard 100, which is your singles list. Topping the list again this week is Girls Like You by Maroon 5.
Oh, featuring Cardi B.
Featuring Cardi B. Number 2, though, debuting at number 2 this week, one of those, the Carter 5 tracks.
Oh, you called
Mona
it?
Lisa. That one's Lil Wayne featuring Kendrick Lamar.
Wait, I've heard this song.
Yes.
Mona Lisa.
No.
You're no.
No.
Not that one.
No, this is the track featuring Kendrick Lamar, which is ridiculous.
Okay.
But it's pretty good. So that's your number 2 record. Or sorry, your number 2 song. Number 3, Juice WRLD with Lucid Dreams. Number 4, Better Now by Post Malone. And number 5, also debuting off the Carter 5, Don't Cry.
So Lil Wayne has 2 hits.
Lil Wayne, 2
Honor
hits this
them.
week. Which makes sense because your Billboard...
Is he going to be the number 1?
Chart, he is number 1. He is the number 1 album in the country right now. The Carter 5, finally.
The Carter V.
Number 2, also debuting this week, YSIV by Logic.
Logic,
Logic, the rapper.
Yes.
Remember, he of 1-800 etc.
Yes, 1-800 Suicide Line.
Yes. Number 3, also debuting this week. Dancing Queen, that is the ABBA cover album by Cher. Also debuting at number 4 this week.
Whoa, 4 newbies?
Luca Brasi 3 by Kevin Gates. And rounding out the top 5.
Nice for what? Nice for what?
Scorpion by
Drake.
So they couldn't all be new. But 4 out of 5 of the albums this week are
top new. 4 were all
top
new.
4
wow.
All new.
Hey, we said last week this is a huge week for new releases.
It really was.
I mean, yes, 2 weeks ago because they were all 2 weeks.
Yes.
So.
Speaking of new releases, let's talk about new releases.
Okay, what am I listening to this week?
Atreyu with In Our Wake.
Atreyu!
Basement with Beside Myself. Belly with Immigrant. I don't know which Belly that is. Is that the alt-rock band Belly or is that the rapper Belly?
I think it's this Belly.
Beside Belly. Making music all the time. Calvin Johnson with A Wonderful Beast.
Not that Calvin Johnson.
Although who knows?
I don't know. Very well could be. Not Megatron.
No,
Calvin Johnson.
Not Calvin Johnson.
I mean, he is retired from the NFL, so very well could
be. I wish it was. Conan Moccasin with Songs of the Plains. Elvis Costello and the Imposters with Look Now. Eric Clapton with Happy Christmas. A little early, Eric. John Grant with Love is Magic. Kurt Vile with Bottle It In. Matthew Deere with Bunny. Parcels with Parcels. Quavo with Quavo Huncho.
I think it's Quavo.
Sorry, Quavo.
Yes.
With Quavo Huncho. The Bottle Rockets with Bit Logic. The Watson Twins with Duo. Makes sense. Tom Morello with the Atlas Underground.
We'll talk about Morello in a little bit.
And Young Jesus with The Whole Thing Is Just There.
Thanks, Young Jesus.
The whole thing is just there.
That's Young Jesus for you. Just giving you the whole thing.
Yep.
Right
just
there.
there. Thanks, Young Jesus. Moving on to music news. Our first story is
happened yesterday.
Is the big one.
All right. So tell me about the American Music Awards.
Well, the story is less about the American Music Awards and more about the person who won one. That's your actual biggest music story this week.
That's why Taylor Swift stuff.
But it's kind of couched in this American Music Awards thing. So as you know, the American Music Awards are the imitation Grammys that Dick Clark thought were a good idea.
Yes, for ratings.
Yes, for ratings. And they happened yesterday. Or Monday? Monday. They happened Monday.
Yesterday, Tuesday.
I thought they happened Monday. Anyways,
no, they were Tuesday.
Happened.
I saw an ad for them, so Tuesday.
Taylor Swift won the award for Best Tour of the Year, Best Artist of the Year, Best Pop Rock Female Artist of the Year, and Best Pop Rock Album for her album Reputation.
I would like to point out that those categories are very skewed towards pop and not rock.
Yes.
I am biased like that.
Right. But yes, with those wins, Swift broke the record for most wins at the AMAs by a female artist. During her speeches, she encouraged viewers to go vote. This, of course, was following her Instagram post earlier in the week, where she, for the first time, actively stated her political beliefs. She went ahead and actually recommended that her fans register to vote, and specifically vote for the Democratic candidates in her home state of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
This was a big deal because, as you might know, Taylor Swift has been very quiet about her political views, choosing instead to choose very safe topics to talk about, like instead of saying outright what she believed on either a Democratic or Republican conservative liberal bias.
Yes.
She was very quiet about these things up until now. So the people in the music industry were very quick to note that statistically, this has already made an impact on registered voters.
Woo!
Believe it or not, somebody found numbers that suggest that 65,000 young people, and that's people in the 18 to 25 demographic,
so Taylor Swift
registered to vote after Taylor Swift made these statements.
I thought voters were supposed to be anonymous.
Well, there are data where you can see
I know
how many people registered over a certain bit.
Yes.
So yes, there's a certain argument you can make that somebody as influential as Taylor Swift actually does have the influence to get young people to register to vote. Who knew?
I mean,
it's almost like she should have done this way earlier, but what are you gonna do?
use this time machine to slap some sense into her.
Right. Well, maybe don't slap her, but to speak some sense into her. I don't know.
Right. Yes.
Yes. Where was she in 2016? Is the question I have to ask.
I think she was talking about her reputation.
Talking about her reputation. Yeah. All right.
Although I don't know if we were supposed to talk about her reputation.
She doesn't give a damn about her reputation.
But I'm talking about her reputation.
Anyways. Also at the AMAs, besides Taylor Swift, the big winners included Canola.
Canola. Did I put canola?
That is a great typo. Camila Cabello.
I don't think I put canola.
You put Canola Cabello.
Oh, okay.
Featuring Young Thug for Havana.
Yes, Havana was the big song of the night.
Pop rock song collaboration and new artist. Camila Cabello did.
Yes, that's hip hop and rap new artist, although it's more hip hop than
Meanwhile,
rap.
Cardi B won for R&B song, rap song, and rap artist.
Yep.
Meanwhile, in the country segments of the night, Kane Brown swept. I don't even know who Kane Brown is.
Neither do I, but I expect him to be at Stagecoach next year.
Guess so. Jeez.
Yeah, he won for album, song, and artist. Although Florida Line did win for best duo or group because Kane Brown is a solo act.
Yeah. So somebody who wouldn't have won any AMA as last night was Suge Knight.
Oh, he would be nowhere near the AMAs unless he was there with his car.
Was not, because he has now been sentenced to 28 years in prison for his fatal hit and run.
Yes, we reported on that back when one, we were first starting, and two, they were filming for Straight Outta Compton.
Right. So this was, of course, in connection to his killing one man and injuring another when he ran over them at a Compton burger stand in 2015. By pleading no contest to voluntary manslaughter, Knight avoided a murder trial and a possible life sentence. So he basically took the lower sentence that he could have taken. But still, 28 years in prison is pretty much, well, there goes your career. Like, what else is he going to do? Like,
he's going to write a bunch of songs and then come out with a double album.
Well, Suge Knight was never...
I know, he's a producer.
Artist, he was a producer, but still, yes. But
you can find some talent in there, though.
But yeah, I mean, deservedly, he deserved the 28 years in prison.
Well,
that's for sure.
Did he do it? Was that just for this or for everything he was allegedly connected to?
Yeah, that's another story. But at least he got sentenced for something.
Yes.
All right, let's move on.
All right.
Next story.
Let's talk about Chris Cornell.
This is also kind of a follow-up story. We were talking about the suicide prevention
event
organization, etc. The awareness event that was going to happen.
Yes.
So yes, Chris Cornell's former Audio Slave bandmate Tom Morello has now released a track aimed at removing the stigma of mental health issues with Portugal the Man and Wethin, called Every Step That I Take, to help raise awareness for suicide prevention. They're partnering with an organization called SAVE, which stands for Suicide Awareness Voices of Education, focusing on suicide prevention, information, and depression awareness. Every Step That I Take is about how the dreams and depression and love and the lack of it on the emotional steps of the gallows are processed. So even more awareness, even more organization happening, great foundations to support. So yeah, this movement continues.
Yep. Just in time for A Star Is Born.
Yes. Yeah, I guess so. Oh boy. Is that a spoiler?
It might be.
Oh boy. All right.
It's not a spoiler if you don't know what it is.
Next up, one of our favorite stories to cover, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, right. Is it that time of year again?
It's that time of year. Class of 2019 nominations are out.
Oh, okay. So, if I remember correctly, there were some top contenders that didn't quite make it last year.
Those two notable eligible bands that didn't make it last year that are still eligible this year are Radiohead and Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, boo. Put them in.
Yeah, why not? This year marks the first time, though, that acts such as Def Leppard...
Speaking of Tom Morello.
Def Leppard, Devo, John Prine, Roxy Music, Stevie Nicks, and Tom Rundgren have been nominated. You would think that they would have been nominated before.
Well, Stevie Nicks is in for Fleetwood Mac
already,
but
not as a solo
artist. This is for a solo artist.
I'm surprised Devo isn't already there.
I'm surprised Def Leppard is the first timer.
Right, but Devo is the surprise for me.
I mean, also that means that both Radiohead and Rage Against the Machine are older acts?
Yes.
I would not have guessed that.
Well, no, that's not true. That just means that they haven't been nominated before.
Oh.
You could be eligible and not be nominated.
Okay, I guess you're right.
Def Leppard definitely predates both of those.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So does Roxy Music. So does Devo.
Yeah.
So does Stevie Nicks' solo career.
Yeah, so it's weird that they're just getting nominated the first time.
In fact, all of them I think do. But yes, as for the rest, it's the 5th time that Kraftwerk and LL Cool J have been nominated.
No.
There you go. The 4th time for the Zombies and MC5. The
Do you
third
think
time,
Zombies will get it from?
Yeah, it could happen.
Already?
The 3rd time for Janet Jackson and Rufus, featuring Shaka Khan.
No, thank you.
And the 2nd time for The Cure. I'm surprised The Cure's not in there.
Oh,
Class of
second time for The
2019
Cure.
will be formally inducted on March 29th, 2019 at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York.
Yes.
So good luck.
Good luck
all
to the
those
following
involved.
nominees. We'll report back when they've whittled down the list or have chosen the... No, I guess they do finalists, right?
Yeah, they do. They narrow it down to the final.
Yeah, they go finalists and then they do the winners.
The inductees.
The inductees.
All right. Well,
All right.
let's move on. That does it for music news, which means here we are in what we listened to this week. We have
so
a couple
many
albums.
thoughts.
We have a couple albums to talk about
Okay.
here.
Let's go with the one I liked the least first.
The 21 Pilots record?
Oh, how'd you know?
Because it's not very good?
No,
All right.
it's not very good.
Trench by 21 Pilots came out. It's a 21 Pilots record.
Oh,
I don't need to tell you that because you already know.
It's either you like what 21 Pilots is doing, or you're like me and think it's meh, why am I listening to this? There's other better stuff out there.
Very them. Like,
yes.
It's not a departure at all. It's very their sound.
I would like to note that like 2 of the songs sound very similar to each other in the fact that I could play them back to back and you wouldn't know that either A, the track switched, or B, it's a different sound.
I mean, it says a lot about that record that right now I'm trying to think of what any of those songs sounded like, and I can't think of a single one.
Well, it's because they sound like 21 Pilots.
They just sound so generic to me. I don't know. It's what you think it is. I don't even think we need to spend more time talking about it.
No, I didn't like it.
Let's talk about Eric
But I listened
Church
to it.
instead. Eric Church's
yes.
album Desperate Man also came out this week.
Yes. Eric Church
That thing.
has reached the phase of, I'm going to do whatever I want to do because I'm that big now.
That thing, as you put it, is a bluesy 70s rock record.
Yeah, it is.
It is very barely country. I think there are maybe a few tracks on there that could pass as a country radio single, but any other rest, though, he is not going for singles anymore.
No, he's going for an album experience.
Yes.
And
He's making an album that you put on in your basement while you're chilling out. This is that kind of record.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, it's your basement, you're on your couch, and you got a beer open. You're just chilling, man.
Or you're working on something.
Yeah.
It's man time.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to gender it, but yes, it's good. It's good. Introspective bluesy music.
Oh yeah, it's super bluesy.
Yeah.
I love how this album starts with the snake.
Yeah.
The talk about 2 different snakes, the copperhead and the rattlesnake.
Snakes, man.
Snakes, man. Snakes in boots. But yeah, there's great songs on this album, but it is very bluesy. It is not it's not an album that we've heard before in a long time, especially coming out of this year. We've had Dan and Shay, we've had Luke Bryan, we've had Jason Aldean, Casey Musgraves, Kenny Chesney, Carrie Underwood. It hasn't been a great year for country music.
Insane year for country.
Yeah, it's like everyone decided to put out an album this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, Florida Georgia Line, I think, put out something as well.
I don't know. Who cares?
But yeah, there's been so much country music that we've especially covered this year that to have something that's in the country genre but not country at all, super bluesy and chill, is not a relief, but a nice palate cleanse, you could say.
Yeah, you could say.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's basically what it is. It's a bluesy album, super like 60s, 70s guitar riffs, relax. And if that sounds like it's your type of album,
Yeah,
definitely check it out. Check out listen to the entire album. This isn't like a single or a demo. This is Eric Church being, I'm gonna do an album dedicated to blues, and it's going to rock your world, or chill out your world.
Something like that.
Something to that
maybe
effect.
Both. Maybe a little bit of both.
Something to that effect.
All right. Well, that I also listened to this week. I listened to the new Swearin' record. If you like.
Well, watch your mouth.
I know. I'm swearing. If you like good old garagey indie rock, if you like those guitars crunchy, check this thing out. It's good. It's like their first record. Anyways, but that's all I have to say about that.
Okay.
So let's move on. Then we are moving on to music and into video games.
All right, video games. What's new releases in video games?
New releases this week: Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Oh, that is
it's already that time of year.
Is that telling you that is your major release?
If you're thrown
with
off
a
by
major
this,
release.
Yes. If you're thrown off by this, that is because they don't usually come out until November.
Yep.
Activision instead has decided to drop this in October, a month earlier than usual. So yes, it is time for Call of Duty. So get ready.
Get those FPS trigger happy fingers ready.
It's happening.
I think Activision is doing the buyer elite and elite package and play early.
Yeah.
I think there is microtransactions and loot boxes in this.
Yeah. Definitely.
Probably.
That's what they do now.
We may red box this over the weekend. I mean, hell, I'm not doing anything.
We'll see. Yeah, maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see what we're doing. Also, this week, the Switch port of Luigi's Mansion
Oh, hey.
is out.
That's cool. If you missed the Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS.
Or no, sorry. This is not... You have Switch down, but no, that's incorrect. This is the 3DS port of Luigi's Mansion 1, the GameCube one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is not a Switch game. They announced a third Luigi's Mansion for Switch, but that is next year.
Oh,
That's not
I
even
thought
happening.
that was... Okay, I thought they announced it because they were going to drop it.
No, this is the port of the first Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS.
Okay.
The World Ends With You Final Remix, which is a remix of World Ends With You, is that on Switch?
And if you have not played that game, play that game.
Play that game. We can both recommend that game.
The music is top notch. The character interactions are great.
Yeah, that's a fun game.
And it's a fun game. It's a dynamic of combat system.
Yes.
But it's easy to pick up. Don't be afraid of it.
I played the original back on the DS, and man, that was a crazy game. But it's really cool. Then also this week, Space Hulk Tactics.
Cool. No, that is not a Marvel joint. That's
no,
just
not that Hulk.
Not
Space
that
Hulk. Space Hulk Tactics for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. That's it for new releases. Let's move on to...
I mean, there's obviously going to be some indie releases, but
yeah.
we decided to stop covering all those because it got a little overwhelming. So
major releases.
Major releases.
So let's talk about, instead, video game news. Our first one is about Microsoft is not done buying studios.
So, during the press conference of E3 for Microsoft, they announced like 7 or 8 studios that they were buying up. Well, they still have money to burn.
They have money to burn, and they're currently. This is technically a rumor. This is not confirmed.
Yes.
But all signs point to this happening. They are supposedly finalizing a deal to acquire the independent development studio Obsidian Entertainment, also known as that video game company that's on the 2nd floor of our building. They're literally 4 floors below us. We could just ride an elevator down to their floor anytime.
Which we have.
We're not going to do that, though.
No.
But yes, Obsidian Entertainment, you may know them as the studio who brought you Fallout New Vegas, Knights of the Old Republic 2, and their most recent strategy RPG, Pillars of Amalur, or whatever the hell that game is called. Pillars of something. Anyways.
It's just Pillars.
Yeah.
It's short to Pillars.
Pillars of something. But yeah, if this goes through, Microsoft would be the owner of Obsidian. They say that the deal has, quote, been 90% finished, and somebody said it's a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, which could be good news. I mean, what are they going to get out of this deal?
Money. And the ability to make probably bigger risks with their projects, make bigger projects. Because they've been playing it safe basically since those games I mentioned, the big titled games for major publishers.
Mm-hmm.
They've been kind of doing small crowd-funded like games like that Pillars game, where it's like they're not shooting for the stars like they used to.
But that comes with being an independent studio,
Right.
though.
So I think that what happens here is a Microsoft ownership means they can make big games again. They can get back in the AAA scene. I think that's what happens here.
But then they become exclusives, though.
Potentially, yeah. That would potentially put them in a position where they're making PC and Xbox games. But hey, that's fine. They had a history of making PC games in the first place. Anyways, but yes, in case you're wondering what else Obsidian's up to, they also announced that they were developing a new RPG that would be published by Private Division.
Private
which
Division?
is a label under 2K Games.
Wait, you also Privates, right?
I don't remember. I don't know.
All right.
The deal would either allow Microsoft to buy out the contract of 2K contract that was started, or make the game a Microsoft exclusive instead. So yeah, we'll see what happens if this is finalized. Seeing how these things usually go, we should probably know in the next week or so whether this scuttlebutt is true or not. Or maybe we'll hear it from our building.
Probably. It'll be a big announcement. Like, hey, we're moving out to a bigger building.
Sorry, we're heading out.
Oh.
But yeah, we'll see. Moving on, our next story is about Sony. Since we talked about Microsoft, it's only fair. Sony did it. They finally did it.
They killed... No. They bought... No.
No?
What they
They're
do?
finally letting you change your PSN name.
What, you mean I no longer to be XXX, No Scope 360, Burn?
42069 XXX.
Tentacoin?
No! Yes, you don't have to be Tentacoin anymore. Sony has announced a new feature that will allow users to finally change their PlayStation Network Online ID from their PlayStation 4. The PSN Online ID change feature beta will be part of the PlayStation Preview program and will be able to become available to select users that have been pre-registered as testers for previous PS4 system software betas. First change is free. First one's free. That's how they get you.
That's how you get you.
And changes after that will cost $10. For PlayStation Plus members, it will cost $5 after their first change. Full rollout of the feature is to all PS4 owners is planned for early 2019. This, of course, follows the method that Microsoft uses.
Yes, Microsoft did this already.
Yes. Microsoft has allowed you to change your name for a long time for free for the first time, and then after that, you have to pay as well.
Yep.
So this follows in league with this. This actually is interesting because for years, Sony said that it would require a lot of tinkering with older games, older internet games, so like PS3 titles, in order to make this work. So the fact that they finally got it working is really good. It's good news.
Oh, that's right. That's why I didn't put in this thing.
Yeah.
It does actually affect it.
Yes.
Older games. Any game past or before August 1st will allow you to show both your current username and your older username.
That's how they're doing it.
You can also do that for the first couple of months. That way, when your friends pop up, they'll see
They know
both.
who you are.
They know who you are.
Okay.
And then they'll say, okay, I know who this is. I can go switch it over.
That's smart. But yeah, it sucks that it took so long because now they have to be really careful about how they implement it.
Right.
But yeah.
But yeah, if a username is already taken, you can't take it again.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but I actually have 2 usernames for PlayStation accounts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. One is the one I use because it's my handle on everything.
But
And the other one, I don't think I've ever told you what it is.
I don't mind.
All right.
But yeah, so the one thing that
because I used it as my backup account, and I used it for PlayStation Home. And that was the thing.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, the one thing that doesn't allow you though is to combine 2 existing accounts, which a lot of people I know want to do. But
Unfortunately.
yeah, unfortunately. Anyways, let's move on to our next story. Epic Games.
Hey.
Them of Fortnite fame, of
Yes,
course.
the Fortnite people.
They have announced it has acquired an anti-cheat company called Camu.
Anti-cheat company?
Yes, they're a Finland-based company and the creator of the Easy Anti-Cheat service that Epic already employs for Fortnite.
Is that trademarked?
Yes, apparently. However, it appears those who do cheat have a bigger issue to worry about than a ban. In particular, a spate of Android apps promising free V-Bucks and other in-game advantages are being sued for used for phishing schemes, installing malware on users' devices, and stealing sensitive information.
You can't do that.
So yeah,
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're getting away with it.
They're sure going to be cracking down soon, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, their competitor to Fortnite, PUBG.
That's still a thing?
PUBG Corp has regularly implemented new anti-cheating measures in their game as well. Players have been very vocal in their call to region lock certain regions, mainly China, I guess because of how much cheating is happening.
Yes, well, we did note that China's government, the Chinese police, have cracked down on cheating scandals and cheating rings for PUBG, working with them. But yeah, this is Epic's way of dealing with that personally.
Yeah.
On a personal issue. Their Season 6 did just launch. Yeah, 6th season. I don't know how long each season lasts, but they're in Season 6 right now, which means new map and new guns. They've listened to a lot of your stuff. Got rid of double pump action for shotguns.
Right.
And then everyone started complaining that we want double pump back. Because it was too OP, and then they...
Can never make everybody happy.
No, we can't make everyone happy. But, yeah. Epic Games and Fortnite. If you're playing that, this is good news for you.
Yes,
I'm not playing it, so it's no news for me.
But what is news for you? I know you like Borderlands.
I like Borderlands 2.
Well, what if I told you that Borderlands 2 is getting re-released?
Well, let's see. I bought Borderlands 2 based on your recommendation.
Yep.
I bought Borderlands for the PSP or PS Vita.
Yeah.
I bought Borderlands in the Handsome Jack collection.
Uh-huh.
I think that's enough for me to play Borderlands.
Well, what if I told you that you could play Borderlands 2 in VR?
I think it's time for us to get a VR.
Well, go to Pandora with the new VR game that kind of shooter-looter gets in your face. Literally.
Yes, it is VR.
Virtually immerse yourself in the untamed world of Borderlands 2. It doesn't say 2, but it's 2.
It's 2.
For the PSVR. It has a new slow-mo ability that allows you to set up your next attack, and a teleport where you can just glide across Pandora.
Yes, that will get rid of, one, using the car, and two, just because the maps are so big.
It's VR, and you don't wanna do all the moving around.
Yeah.
For games like this, you have to have certain shortcuts because you can't have a full, just a regular ass first person shooter in VR. It would be too much.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's smart. I think this is a smart move. But man, I wish they would just announce 3 already.
I know you would.
Where the hell is 3?
I hope there were. It's getting the Kingdom Hearts treatment.
I need that game.
Speaking of the Kingdom Hearts treatment, real briefly, segue here, sorry to steal your thunder, but they did announce the complete collection for PS4. You can get 1.5 HD, 2.5 HD, 2.8, and 3 when it comes out, all for the low price of $100. Low price. Because...
Who's she?
She's this girl
Lolo
in
Price.
Kingdom Hearts.
Lolo Price?
Yeah, Lolo Price.
Okay.
Yeah, she runs the marketplace, actually.
Good to know.
Yeah. It's funny that her last name is Price, but...
Yeah, it's a coincidence.
It's a nice wink and a nod. Anyways, yeah, if you were already thinking about buying Kingdom Hearts 3 for $60, buy this instead, because for the extra $40, you get all Kingdom Hearts games for the PS4. You can download and play immediately both or all 3 collections, and then get Kingdom Hearts 3 pre-order
PS4 pre-order
to play immediately when it launches at the end of January.
It's true.
And that's my basically that's my birthday list right there.
Yeah, I guess so, right? So yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Little Kingdom Hearts blip
Yes.
of the week there. That wraps it up for video game news, which means it's time to talk about video games we played.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this is our fourth thoughts of the week.
Yeah, but I'll be brief here. I actually haven't played a lot of this, so I'll talk about it briefly here.
Okay, so you played Horizon 4.
So Forza Horizon 4, the fourth in the Forza Horizon series, if you're not familiar.
I'm not
So
familiar.
there's Forza Motorsport,
Yes.
which is Microsoft's this is their tech based pro driving simulator. This is their Gran Turismo equivalent, right?
Right.
Well, Horizon is their slightly more arcadey open world
Need
driving
for
game.
Speed?
Yeah, closer to a Need for Speed game.
Okay.
So Horizon is the one where it's a little bit more fun. It still has customization options. It still goes pretty deep in the simulation part. But this is the one with drivatars, where you play against, yes, that's their term for computer-controlled racers that are based on the activity of your real-world friends. The idea is the more that you play the Forza games, the more the drivatar learns from your style and the kinds of things you do.
Okay.
So that way, when your friends are playing, your name will appear on a car that's not actually you.
Oh, Ghost Car.
And will drive like you do, based on your data.
Ghost Car.
That's a drivatar.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's this game. So Horizon 4 takes it up a notch and adds seasons into the game. So not only is it an open world game, but there are parts of the game where you'll go through actual real life weather change. So during the winter, the roads get icy and it's kind of hard to control. During the fall, all the colors change and you kind of get more like mud races and stuff. And the spring, it rains more. In the summer, it's super hot. Like the weather and the seasons actually have direct effect on your racing.
Oh.
And the opening of this game does a really good job of showing how that works. As you're kind of basically playing in the intro. It's like an interactive intro, and it goes through all the different seasons for you, so that way you can see the differences right away.
Okay. So is it will different tracks or different things unlock based on what season it is?
Yes, but it's in chronological order by its story.
Okay.
But the way that you go to races is like Burnout Paradise. So basically, it's an open world, but there'll be things on your GPS that you can and it does one better than Burnout Paradise because it has a GPS. And it has you can lock in places to navigate to. But yeah, you can go to a thing and then you can be like, I want to race this race now. And then you can go into the race.
Okay.
Then there's you'll see drivatars in races, but you'll also see them just kind of hanging out on the roads. Also, like Burnout Paradise, there'll be stuff built in the open world you can do too. Like try to get the best time in this flat, or try to do this jump, or try to do stuff like that. So yeah, it's not a requirement to play multiplayer, but of course it's multiplayer, co-op, and competitive. So you can play against your friends as well.
Online or local?
Both, as far as I know.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's a racing game. Right now, if you're interested at all, it is available through Xbox Game Pass. So if you're already a Game Pass subscriber, or if you want to be, you can play Forza Horizon now. That's one of the nice perks of the Game Pass. Or you can buy it for reals. But yeah, it's a more traditional racing game than the Burnout games. It's a little harder. I've been struggling, and I have everything set to easy, and I'm still having a hard time with the races. I'm just not very good at it. But yeah,
you know how to drive.
But it's extremely customizable. You can make it as hard or as easy as you want. Everything can be all the tinkering you can do with your car can be as specific as you want it to be. Like you can even mess with your tire pressure and your brake differential and stuff like that. You can get really to the nitty gritty. Or the game also has options to be like, nah, I just want it to be like this, and that works too.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's very customizable. It's got something for everybody who likes racing games and cars. So yeah, it's a really fun game, and I recommend it to anybody who needs a racing fix on their Xbox.
Okay, sounds like
also on PC.
So, Pendant, Beauty About Scale.
Yeah, I'd say, well, we
Rent
don't have
it?
one for video games.
Yeah, rent it, buy it, rent it, forget about it.
This is a tough one because I'd say that if you're somebody who already has access to the Game Pass, the Xbox Game Pass, definitely give it a try.
Okay.
Because you're already paying for Game Pass.
Yeah.
If you need a racing game, then yeah, by all means, seek it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, so it's pretty good. All right, then.
All right, that does it. That's
for
all I played.
us. I didn't play anything new. Still playing with Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. And I'm also playing Polio. Or
You're
Drop
playing Polio?
Polio.
What's Polio?
Drop IO? I don't know. I'll show it to you.
Oh,
So you know how you liked donut counting?
Yes.
Oh, do I have a game for you?
Oh, boy.
I'll show it to you after this.
Okay.
It's actually right here, if I can remember the name of it.
Take a look.
I know. It's, what's the name? Yeah, Holio.
Polio.
Hole.io.
Hole.io.
Yeah. That's available on both Android and Google. Nah, we're done. Google Play Store and
Yes.
Apple App Store.
Apple Apps.
Apple the App Store.
The Apple the App Store.
Yeah. We're done. We're reaching in on 2 hours here.
That's it for video games. That's it for the Media Boat Podcast.
You know what? Plug it away.
Let's plug it away.
Do a quick plug for everything.
This has been the Media Boat Podcast. We're live every Wednesday night on YouTube. Just search Media Boat Podcast and you can find us. Every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific time is when we go live, so check that out. We'll be back next week for another live show. If you'd rather listen to our audio version, we're also in podcast form. You can find us on Apple Podcasts or any RSS feed-driven podcast machine. Just pop in Media Boat Podcast and you'll find us. You can also find us on social media. We're on Twitter at MediaBoatCast. We're on Facebook, Media Boat Podcast. Just search that and you'll find our page. Like and leave a comment.
Yep.
You can also find us on the internet. We're on MediaBoatPodcast.com for all our archived written work. You can also see us on Twitch.tv when we play video games. That's Twitch.tv/MediaBoat. Lastly, if you want to help us out, and I know you do, you can donate to us on Patreon. Patreon.com/MediaBoat is where you can go to donate. You can donate as little as $1 a month and we'll still love you. That little amount, just $1 a month, still helps us and can make this content even better and make special content just for you. So that does it. We'll be back next week with another edition of the Media Boat Podcast. In the meantime, we're going to go rest our mouths.
Yes. Next week we probably won't have as many thoughts to go over.
We'll have a shorter show next week.
Yes, it'll definitely be a shorter show. This is
back.
one of our longer because thoughts on everything.
Thoughts on everything. But we'll keep the truck going. We'll see you guys next time.
We'll keep trucking. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All right. YouTube after show. Nothing. We covered everything. We're done. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in.
See you guys next time.
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.